The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. He'll check this down to Hines. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Here's Mayfield. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield being chased out left. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here's Beasley. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Stanley looking to pass.
They'll roll him out right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Justin Jefferson
with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded right around the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you look...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devin Bush, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Mayfield now.
The throw for Claypool is intercepted.
Adrian Amos with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So problems with Aaron passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
Throwing is Stanley. Rolling to his right. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie, Andre Cisco. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. Well, young quarterback Charles rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of his end zone, Mayfield. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. From their own 2, Charles, they opted to throw it instead of run it. We saw the outcome.
And I think what a lot of teams count on is defenses to stack the line of scrimmage, trying to force a safety or force a turnover there. But if you've got a good defensive front, you just allow them to play the run and everyone else stays ready. And they were, and they picked that one off.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. This is caught. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Logan Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Gold to add the extra point. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So that'll back him up 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Mayfield. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mayfield looks to throw. That one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
Here's Brian Anger now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Beasley now to return. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. $13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
And Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
Now this throw caught left side, and he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Steps away. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And this will be incomplete. Both players with a shot at it that time, but neither coming away with it. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. The kick by Lambeau is good. And they'll at least get on the board here. Still trailing, but 16-3 now. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple of things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. A give to Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, second down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Now Stanley. Flushed out right. That is caught by Thielen. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up first and goal.
Play action at Stanley. This goes out wide for Mixon. Touchdown! Joe Mixon, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Takes it at the 7.
And able to get this out to the 25. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
To throw again on second down, Mayfield. And he wisely will throw that one away.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Mayfield on play action. He'll buy some time right. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, tried to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Muzzle damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has now been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Mixon running right. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Gold is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. As well as we resume play in the second half. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll try the left side. It's Hines. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
And this one is no good. He missed it, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Stanley.
On the left side, he finds Beasley. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw to the right side and complete to Thomas. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4.
Nixon will try the right side. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Here's Stanley to throw.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the third time tonight from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Gould is able to put it through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So this one, Charles, it's only the third quarter, but they appear to be well on their way to victory.
I would say so, because a one-score lead you don't even count, but a two-score lead you know it can evaporate in an instant. 3 scores, feeling good, but you know it's not over yet. But now they've got a 4-score cushion. I think you can feel pretty confident in the fact this is going to go your way.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Play fake. Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
His throw incomplete. He has still not connected on a single pass in this second half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. Picked off by the rookie corner, Pat Surtain. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie, Andre Cisco. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Following the interception, Mayfield. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and trying not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mayfield steps away to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Devin Bush, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Third and long for Mayfield. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll let it go deep right side. A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
But we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. They'll roll him out right. Open man completes it to Claypool. And they do get him out of bounds finally, but the damage is done. A big hitter on what proves to be the final play of the third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Mayfield to throw it. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. Well, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal.
Mike 58 right there. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
They go play action with Stanley. Dumps it off to Mixon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Defensively, they know the situation. They stack the line. Heck, that was a goal line set right there.
And it's the right play for them. Exactly what they have to do. They want to take away every gap, every crack, and make sure no one can get through it. But here's the deal, though. You've worked on offense all year long about these types of defensive fronts. And if they can penetrate it at all, your runner has a chance to go a long way behind.
It could be a house call. A play fake. Now Stanley. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. It doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Switch. 19,
Mixon with a first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On second down now, it's Jones. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
check, crunch.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
50's the mic. Rip right. Check 26. 60 Eagle.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get this down to the 10.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Mike's 50. Stay with your man.
They'll give it to Mixon. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Julian Love picks it, and the Dolphins are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
You're always thinking about picking up the first down, but in this case, they were thinking about something bigger. They were thinking about the home run shot and took it downfield. Unable to connect, but admire the effort.
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. One last shot from Mayfield here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the rookie corner, Pat Surtain. And the Ravens come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Baltimore, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.